Good morning, and thank you all for joining us today for the DSA Mid-Annual Meeting. I'm DSA Board of Directors Chair Marilyn Boss, and I hereby call to order the 63rd Annual Meeting of the Downtown Seattle Association and the Metropolitan Improvement District. Before we get going, here's a quick look at our program today. And thanks to the over 500 of you joining us today. While these online meetings have provided a level of convenience, we're looking forward to seeing everyone in person next year. As many of us have experienced lately, there's an energy when people come together that you just can't replicate online. Whether you're at Pike Place Market, strolling through Pioneer Square, or having lunch in Westlake Park, there's momentum and activity in downtown. And you'll hear from DSA President and CEO John Scholes later in the program. There are metrics trending in the right direction, and you can feel it. That energy is critical to advancing downtown's recovery. At DSA, we know that when downtown thrives, the entire city flourishes. While the importance of downtown recovery extends far beyond the 5 square miles of our geographic footprint, it begins here. You will hear from John Scholes during today's event that DSA and the programs we manage, the Metropolitan Improvement District and Commute Seattle, are driving Seattle's downtown recovery effort, building upon DSA's mission to create a healthy, vibrant downtown. We could not fulfill that mission without the support of our members, property owners, and partners. Thank you for your investment, your collaboration, and your belief in that a strong downtown equates to a thriving city. Our annual meeting is made possible through the generous support of our sponsors, who we'd like to recognize now. I'll name them all, and then we'll give them virtual applause at the end. First, today's presenting sponsor is Alaska Airlines, the newest member of the One World Alliance. Our partner sponsors are Biomed Realty, Heinz, McCullough Hill Leary, Seattle Kraken Climate Pledge Arena, and WAFED. Steward sponsors are C. Spain East Strategic, Copacino Fujikado, Plymouth Housing, Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, Washington Holdings, and Zurich. Our media partner is the Puget Sound Business Journal. Thank you all for your support. You're all helping advance downtown's recovery. As visitors return to the heart of the city and employers welcome back workers, we have a tremendous opportunity to make downtown even better than it was before the pandemic. DSA's work is critical here. DSA has been a partner and convener for more than 60 years, and it is that leadership that is crucial as we move forward and advance recovery. Working with our members, ratepayers, partners, and public officials, we're committed to creating a downtown that will once again be an economically thriving, welcoming, and inclusive place for all. To get there, we know the basics still matter and that we all desire a safe, welcoming urban experience, no matter if we live, work, or visit downtown. The work of the Metropolitan Improvement District and the Downtown Ambassador teams is vital to that goal. Mid-Ratepayer Advisory Board Chair Mary Bingham will join us in just a moment. But first, we wanted to share a little glimpse of what the ambassadors are doing to welcome people back to downtown.
Seeing people walking around, it's a really nice feeling, you know.
It's gratifying to see more people come out. We see the kids in the play area, the people coming out and playing ping pong.
Our job is to maintain the streets of Seattle, clean up all debris in front of these businesses, on the streets, and curb lines, remove all the graffiti that might be seen to the eye, basically maintain it every single day that we come to work.
We patrol downtown looking for things that we can do to help make downtown a more safe and vibrant community and business area.
I think of myself as a customer service and concierge for all of downtown Seattle.
We kind of portray a community. There's a place to come. We invite everyone downtown, whether you're just walking through or you're coming to stay.
Everyone has their part to do every day.
As we reopen from COVID, we've had a lot of people thanking us for being out here. They really appreciate the work that we do here.
And I always get, a good job, thank you, It's been looking great for the last couple months because that's what we do at the Mid, is we strive to make it look this good.
Watching people return to downtown has been particularly exciting to me because it's like seeing family.
Hello, I'm Mary Bingham, Mid-Ratepayer Advisory Board Chair and Director of Property Management at Kleist Properties. Thank you to the Downtown Ambassadors. As we just saw, they really are priming downtown for recovery. And we've seen their dedication to downtown daily. This is difficult work made even more challenging during a pandemic. The metrics over the past 12 months tell an impressive story. Boarded up or closed storefronts provided a canvas for tagging. The clean team removed a staggering 31,000 graffiti tags or stickers from the public and private property. More than 1 million gallons of trash were removed from sidewalks and curb lines. 375 city blocks were power washed, with alleys getting the same attention more than 4,400 times. The safety and hospitality team checked in with business nearly 900 times. The visitor count may have been down this year, but the team still provided more than 9,100 directions and also more than 5,500 welfare checks to people in need. We've all seen the impacts of the pandemic on homelessness in Seattle. The outreach team navigated this immense challenge and placed 36 people in permanent housing this year, while also getting more than 130 people referred to shelters. And the Parks team had to pivot to make Occidental Square and Westlake Park safe and accessible hubs as we all craved outdoor space. As we advance recovery, the continued support from property owners is making a huge difference, allowing the Mid to invest more than $3 million in downtown's recovery to welcome back visitors, office workers, and provide a great experience and neighborhood for downtown residents. There's a lot of change this year. This is the first year in more than a decade that the Clean team went to work without one of its biggest leaders, Lee Townsend. One of the founding members of the Mid Clean team and a mentor to so many through the years, Lee passed away last June. As his colleague Steve Walls said after his passing, Lee's greatest contribution was his ability to connect and mentor those who were in the greatest need of help. It's fitting that the Mid's highest individual honor, bestowed each year at this event, will now be known as the Lee Townsend Mid Ambassador of the Year Award. Each year, we give the Ambassador of the Year Award to one Mid Ambassador selected by their peers and Mid supervisors. Through this process, nominees can be from the Mid-funded Clean team, outreach team, safety team, or parks team. And this year, for the first time, this prestigious honor will now be named after Mr. Lee Townsend. Here to name the award's first recipient, Brett Catlin from presenting sponsor Alaska Airlines, the newest member of the One World Alliance.
Thank you. On behalf of Alaska Airlines, we're honored to be this year's presenting sponsor for the DSA mid-annual meeting. As the hometown carrier, we're keenly aware of the importance of a strong and vibrant downtown Seattle. It has a regional impact, and it begins in downtown. Leisure and business travelers are key components of downtown's economy, and they'll be crucial in advancing downtown's recovery as our state and our communities reopen. We couldn't be more excited to welcome people back to our vibrant and growing community. Our One World membership means greater worldwide connectivity, and in turn adds the global spotlight on our hometown. We've all long known that Seattle is a global city, and we're incredibly excited to better connect our community with the globe. As we work to safely bring back visitors to Seattle, their experience will keep them coming back. We know customer service is critical, both in our industry as an airline, but also in the downtown community. The Downtown Ambassadors provide that role for downtown. We're incredibly appreciative for all they do. The clean, safety and hospitality, parks and outreach teams work in concert to make downtown inviting, clean, and safe. The first ever recipient of the Lee Townsend Ambassador of the Year Award has worked on 3 of these teams. He's currently on the clean team, and like Lee Townsend, he's been known to take on the role of a mentor. With that, it's my pleasure to present Clean Team Assistant Supervisor Stephen Stone, the 2021 Lee Townsend Ambassador of the Year.
When I first heard about this, I was like, how do I live up to that? What an honor. I hope it gives other people a hope, that it's there for you too. Never in my life have I ever thought that this could happen for me. This is pretty neat. We needed to make a change. I decided one day, let's get rid of everything you own. Let's go try and give Washington a chance. Try a different life where I didn't know anybody, wouldn't have any drugs around me. How do you start over? You've given up everything you own. I was sleeping in my car. I could pay the rent. I couldn't get a deposit to get into an apartment. I didn't know where to go, how to do it. Catholic Social Services referred me to the MID. That was my beginning. The MID stepped up and said, heck yeah, we'll help you out. We can get you into a place. By the way, we could give you a part-time job too. Gave me a chance to make a change in my life. A lot of people in the MID have given me a golden opportunity from that day on. I just believe we all should be in this together. We're a team effort. I can only do as well as they do. I'm nothing without them, and with me, I can help them. And what a great feeling. How blessed I am to be part of this. I've just bettered my life. I went from being retired and not doing anything much for myself to being part of the city and making a difference each and every day. Yeah, it feels good.
Wasn't that a great video? Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Scholes, President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. Congratulations to Stephen Stone, our Ambassador of the Year, and just a huge shout out and thank you to all of our ambassadors who have worked on the streets throughout this most difficult last 15 months, throughout this pandemic, helping to serve and keep our downtown clean, welcoming, and open. And their work is so critical and foundational to our recovery as we look forward. In my remarks today, I want to speak to the impacts of the last year on our downtown community and small business and arts and cultural sector, talk about where we sit today, the recovery that has already begun and the reopening that's already begun, and talk about where we go from here, our path forward to fully reopen and renew our downtown, and how you can help, how you can be engaged, involved, and continue to support this great place, this great urban core that we're so lucky to be a part of. This last year has no doubt been incredibly impactful to not just our downtown, but downtowns across the country and across the world. This pandemic has had an outsized impact on downtowns. After all, our job as downtowns is about bringing people together. That's what we do, to create and innovate, to celebrate with your friends and family and colleagues, to experience urban city life, arts and culture together. And in a pandemic, as we all know by now, we've been told to stay apart for good reason, for the better part of 15 months. So the impact to our downtown, really the first downtown in North America to feel the health and economic effects of this pandemic, have been significant. Nearly 400 businesses at ground level, brick and mortar, mostly restaurant and retail, have had to close their doors permanently over these last 15 months. Our arts and cultural organizations have lost more than 50% of their earned revenue relative to their budgets prior to the pandemic. Our hotels saw single-digit occupancy for the better part of 2020. We had more than 80 conventions that had to cancel. Conventions that wanted to be in Seattle that were on the books, planned to come here, but had to cancel in 2020 and early 2021. These impacts have been profound economically and to our health as a community, to those lives that have been lost, to those that have been hospitalized, and our great thanks goes out to our healthcare workers, the incredible public health leaders in our community, our local and state government officials who've worked with the private sector to combat this pandemic and put our community, our region, our city in a much stronger place for recovery than many other parts of this country. We can build on that as we look forward. In this last year, we also were faced with a necessary and critical racial reckoning in our community, in our country. The murder of George Floyd was an awakening for many individuals, organizations, and companies. I put myself in that category. And our organization is committed to a very specific, detail-oriented action plan to become a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive organization. We are on our journey, learning from other organizations and companies in this region and in this city who are farther along than we are. But we're making specific commitments to diversify our board leadership, our staff leadership, and to root equity in our practices, processes, and organizational infrastructure. You can go to our website to learn more about our plans, our actions, and our goals, and we promise to keep you updated on our progress as we go forward. Now, over the last couple of months, we've been fortunate to see an increase in activity in downtown. More people on the street, more people on the sidewalks. If you've been out and about in downtown over the last several weeks, you've probably felt that. Folks with shopping bags, folks taking pictures of each other and families back on our streets. We're seeing the return of leisure travelers and visitors from other parts of our state and other parts of our country. Today, 75% of businesses that were in existence prior to this pandemic have reopened their doors, and that includes arts and cultural organizations as well. 75% are reopened. Visitor traffic is up 45% since January. Now, it's well off where we should be at this time of year, but we're seeing steady gains week by week in the number of folks who don't live or work downtown, but may live in our region or other parts of the country that are coming to our downtown on a daily basis. Traffic at the Pike Place Market, which has been such a bright spot in our community, in our downtown throughout this. Hats off to the Pike Place Market for staying open, for adjusting again, pivoting all of their different offerings and operations from retail, restaurant, the vendors, childcare, the senior center, so much in the city within our city. Foot traffic there is up 78% since January. Hotel occupancy, as I noted earlier, was in the single digits for much of 2020. Earlier in 2021, we got into the teens. But more recently, we've seen occupancy over 40% in downtown. Now, again, that's well off where we should be this time of year, but we're seeing those numbers go in the right direction. And the Saturday night of Memorial Day weekend, we topped 80% occupancy in downtown Seattle. Another very bright, positive spot and a sign of recovery. Now, the number of office workers in downtown on a daily basis still remains around 15%. But we know from a recent survey that we fielded of downtown employers that 1/3 believe that they will have half their workforce back by the end of June, and a majority will open their doors by September. And they also tell us that a majority believe that they will have an office-centric organization and workplace going forward. Now, we know that the office is going to get recalibrated in some form, but we see a very limited number of companies telling us that they're going to stay fully remote. And most want to be back in the office, and they think that's where they do their best work. So we're looking forward to more office workers beginning to return to their offices by the end of June, and more to come as we get later in the summer and fall. So these are positive signs that we've seen since the beginning of this year, and really over the last 6 to 7 weeks. More feet on the street, more folks shopping, more restaurants and retailers open, our attractions and arts and cultural organizations opening their doors. These are all positive signs, but we know we have a long road ahead. We know that we're competing with cities across this country, across North America, frankly, across the world, that are all trying to rebuild, renew, recover. We're competing for the same conventions in some cases, the same leisure travelers, some of the same entrepreneurs that are looking to start their next new small business, those innovators that are looking to plant capital, investors from other parts of the country and other parts of the world. So we can't take anything for granted. Today, all of those individuals and organizations have more choice and more information about those choices than ever before. That's the environment we're competing in as we look to recover and renew downtown Seattle. And we have to have that in our mindset each and every day as we work to reopen, renew, reimagine our downtown. We're in competition and people have choices. Our recovery work is guided by 5 core principles. Number 1, we believe cities and downtowns and urban places are still desirable. that this pandemic fundamentally has not changed the preferences of workers, residents, visitors that want to be in walkable places with great access to arts and culture and sports and entertainment, shopping and food and dining. Those are the places they want to be. Those are the places that are desirable. Those places that are walkable and interesting and unique. That hasn't changed. Now, some of our behaviors and options that we have now that we didn't have before or we weren't familiar with, those will certainly play some part in our decisions. But the core desire, which we've seen play out over the last several decades, of people wanting to be in cities, wanting to be in downtowns and urban places, whether it's in the United States or other parts of the world, we don't believe this pandemic has fundamentally changed that. We also believe that the basics of what's always been true to make cities successful, those haven't changed much either. To draw visitors in and residents and workers and small business owners and the patrons of the arts and cultural community, you've got to get a few simple things right. Everybody's got to feel that that place is safe and healthy and welcoming, that their experience is going to be delightful. When they show up, when they leave, when they go out to dinner after the show, when they park or get off the bus, it's got to be safe, welcoming, delightful, a healthy place for everybody, a place that everybody feels like they belong. That's been true since the history of cities. And if cities don't get that right, they don't succeed. People have other choices and they make them. We have to get the basics right as we look to recovery and as we look to renewal. We also believe that we've got some unique assets here in our downtown that other parts of our region just don't share. The arts and cultural community, entertainment, music, sports, these are assets that we need to leverage as a downtown as we look to recover and renew. There's only one T-Mobile Park. There's only one place that you're going to be able to come watch the Seattle Kraken drop the puck. There's only one Benaroya Hall. There's only one Moore Theater. There's only one Fifth Avenue. And these are our assets that we can leverage, promote, amplify, celebrate, and we need to help them reopen to shore up their revenues. We need continued support from city government and the federal government to that end. We need to fill those seats with patrons, with customers, with folks who want to experience those things that you can't get anywhere else, because those will be our customers in the restaurants, the shops, and in the hotels. So our arts and cultural, sports, entertainment assets are going to be critical to recovery. We've got to leverage, support, promote, and amplify them. We also believe that the quality of the experience in a downtown, whether it's a hotel, a restaurant experience, a park, an entertainment experience, the bar is going to be even higher as far as what the public and consumers expect. They now have more choices than ever before of how they spend their time and how they spend their money. And the expectation of coming into a downtown has always been that you're going to have that premium experience, that experience that is so unique and memorable that you can't get anywhere else. So we really believe that all of us that are creating and curating and operating, we've got to take our game to the next level to deliver exceptional experiences inside and outside properties and businesses and theaters in our downtown, in the public spaces and in those private spaces. The level of experience and the premium on that is even higher. And finally, we must commit to a more inclusive downtown. Our downtown must reflect the diversity within our region. People must see themselves here in the businesses, in the programming in our parks, in the arts and culture. They must believe that they belong and that they have opportunity. The downtowns that do that reflect their region and the diversity of their region, are going to be the ones that are most desirable, dynamic, and durable on the other side of this pandemic. We have that opportunity in downtown Seattle. Now, those are our key principles. I want to talk about our specific actions and priorities as we look to recover, renew, and reimagine our downtown. Downtown property owners invest through the Metropolitan Improvement District above and beyond the taxes they pay to the city. Those dollars provide direct services that are key to our stewardship of downtown, are going to be critical to downtown recovery. Over this last year, we've paid careful attention to how we've managed those resources, and conserve them so that we were prepared and in the best position possible to deploy those dollars to help downtown reopen, recover, and reimagine. We were fortunate to not have to lay off a single individual in our organization over this last year, but we did institute furloughs from April to August to conserve our cash and to right-size our services to the needs on the street at the time. We haven't taken on any new debt and didn't take any loans out from the federal or state government. We've been able to conserve our cash so that we are ready and poised and prepared to invest and support downtown recovery. Our investments approved by the Metropolitan Improvement District Ratepayer Board in April are focused in 4 key areas. This is our first phase of investment that will begin in June and carry us through the holiday season. We are focused on ensuring downtown is safe and welcoming. We're increasing our investment in off-duty police patrols, those on foot and bike, to supplement the city's patrols in the downtown neighborhood. We're making additional investments to expand our homeless outreach team so they can connect people on the streets with services, with employment, with housing, and with counseling. We need the city and county to step up with a specific plan and specific investments to bring the more than 300 people that are on the streets in downtown inside, to connect them with treatment, with services. This is a public health crisis on our street, and we need to treat it like one. Downtown must be safe and welcoming for everybody if the rest of our recovery strategy is going to produce results and be able to welcome back visitors, workers, and create a great place for downtown residents. The second area of focus is around producing outdoor events, activations, and programming. As we head into these summer months, we want to take advantage of the incredible Seattle summer weather. We will expand our Downtown Summer Sounds concert series an extra month, so more locations, more music throughout downtown beginning in July. You'll see more programming and events in the parks that we manage, Occidental Park, Westlake Park, as well as programming in Bell Street Park. We know that it's going to take some time for our arts and cultural organizations, music venues to get full calendars again. So we want to take advantage of those July and August months as they're gearing up to produce events and activations and programming in our public spaces, in our outdoor spaces. Take advantage of that great weather, create reasons for folks to come back downtown. And for the folks that are here, the downtown residents, our essential workers, folks returning to their offices, the visitors staying in our hotels, we want that experience for them to be a delightful one. So through the MID investment, we'll be making an expanded investment in an arts, culture, outdoor events, programming, and activation strategy. The third area of focus is around ensuring downtown is clean and beautiful. Again, it's about focusing on the basics. We're expanding our own cleaning operation, hiring additional ambassadors, bringing in more equipment like those mobile trikes that you see that allow our ambassadors to get to those messes faster. We need to be able to move faster, move more efficiently to help keep our downtown clean. So we're investing in more people, more equipment, and also contracted services to expand pressure washing throughout downtown, to get after that graffiti, to get the plywood down, to deal with some of those gateways to downtown to get them in better shape. And we're pleased to have city partnership on this effort as well through the Clean City Initiative and the investments that our city government will continue to make to brighten and beautify downtown. We've got to focus on the basics. Downtown's got to be clean and beautiful as we look to recover. We will also market and promote and communicate all that's going on, all that's reopening in downtown. We know that the downtown brand has taken its hits over the last year. Some unfortunate headlines and storylines that haven't been helpful to reinstilling confidence and welcoming folks back and reopening. We've got some work to do to rehabilitate our brand, to remind people of our incredible assets and all that we have going for us in downtown Seattle. And we also want to tell the story of what's open, what's reopening, what's new, what wasn't here prior to the pandemic, and connect with Seattleites and other residents of this region who love urban experiences, who know that they can only get those unique experiences in downtown Seattle, who loved coming here before, whether it was to a ball game or to a restaurant or down to the waterfront or a park or Seattle Center. We want to tell the story of downtown's reopening, and we're pleased to have engaged Copacina Fucicado, a great downtown branding and marketing agency who is shaping up a campaign and strategy that will launch this July, focused on the regional audience, those that live and work in our region, inviting them back downtown. And this campaign will complement the great work that Visit Seattle, our terrific partners, are doing to invite folks from across our country and those fly markets up and down the West Coast to come to downtown Seattle. So look for more information on that campaign. And thanks to the great folks at Copacina Fucicado for working with us to get this in the market so fast. As part of our recovery strategy, we're also organizing around welcoming weeks. 2-week periods in the middle of July, in the middle of September, to concentrate activity when we believe there'll be more office workers returning, more visitors from around the country and around our region. We're asking organizations and attractions and restaurants and retailers, the city, other key partners like the market and Visit Seattle and Friends of Waterfront Seattle, to work with us, work together to produce events, music, festivals, food, promotion, happy hours in the course of those 2-week periods, again, in mid-July and mid-September. We're putting a stake in the ground around reopening and around welcoming everybody back to downtown. Look for more information from us and on our website in the coming weeks on these 2 welcoming weeks in July and in September. These are the investments that we're making to support reopening and recovery, fueled by the investment of downtown property owners to the Metropolitan Improvement District. We are getting to work today on this recovery action agenda to make these critical investments to reopen, renew, and reimagine downtown. The recovery, renewal, and the overall health of downtown matters to our whole city and to our whole region, frankly. Every great city has a great downtown. I haven't been to a great city that doesn't have a place where everybody's welcome, that's a center of arts and culture and history, the place where we can all gather, the place that performs in an efficient way, economically supporting tax revenue that's so critical to city services and the quality of life across the city. And that's been true in downtown Seattle, no doubt. So we have a lot at stake, and we've made a big bet that our downtown would be an economically robust, thriving, vibrant place. We've invested city tax dollars and through city levies in universal preschool for kids in Seattle and expanding our transit system and building low-income housing. We've made these investments assuming that our downtown would be an economically thriving and vibrant place. So there's a lot at stake, not just for these 3 square miles of downtown Seattle, but for our entire city and for our entire region. And while we face a lot of challenges as we look to renew and reopen, we have a lot going for us. There's not another downtown I would want to be in as we look ahead to renewal and reopening and reimagining and recovery. We have an incredible amount of assets here. The arts and cultural community that I spoke of, sports and entertainment, those that exist today and those that are coming, like the Kraken and Climate Pledge Arena, an incredible natural beauty and public spaces, and an incredible new Central Waterfront Park just around the corner. A new convention center that'll be open next year, one of the top convention centers in the country to welcome people back to in-person meetings and events. We have innovators, creators, incredible entrepreneurs, small business owners, and an incredible arts and cultural community. So we have no shortage of assets as we look to renew and recover and really reimagine our downtown. But we know this isn't going to be easy. We have hard work ahead, and we're going to have to work in partnership. You look at how we've been successful as a community over this last year in combating this pandemic. The public and private sector acknowledged in March of 2020, we have a crisis. We acknowledged the reality and the scale of the problem that we faced. We developed strategies together and we took action. We had transparency in the progress we were making, all those incredible dashboards that we all as individuals could go see around the number of cases, hospitalizations, the pace of vaccination. And we adjusted and readjusted and adjusted again our actions and strategy. There was close partnership, there was focus, there was urgency. We need to take that same playbook and apply it to reopening and renewal of our downtown. The public and private sector have got to be working together. We have to accept the challenges and the reality of what we face. We have to have a common strategy. We have to continue to assess that strategy. We need to be transparent about the progress we're making in reopening around some of those challenges like homelessness and the progress we're making or not making. And we need to adjust if we're not making progress. That's the playbook and recipe that's been so successful in combating coronavirus and saving thousands of lives in this community, in positioning Seattle to be the first city in the country to reach 70% vaccinations for the 12 and over population. We should be the first city in the nation to recover and renew our downtown and reopen. We should be the fastest. And we can do that by following that same playbook, by renewing the sense of partnership, collaboration, focus, and outcomes in this city. We're ready to get to work, and we need your help. A couple of ways you can help. Keep raising your voice in this election season with those that are running for office and those that currently hold office. Your voice matters. We need to all stay engaged. We can't get discouraged. Democracy still matters. We need to continue to show up, be engaged with those that are currently in elected office and those that are running for council and for mayor. We're evaluating the candidates for office. Soon you'll have an opportunity to participate in forums later this month, and we'll be sharing ratings of council and mayoral candidates via email later in June. We need you to continue to keep raising your voice around the issues that matter and your concern, your investment, your care for this downtown, and your desire to see it safe, healthy, welcoming, and reopened. Second, help us expand the community of DSA members. If you know a small business owner, an employer, a resident, somebody who's not involved, who's not engaged, bring them into the tent. We need everybody's hand on this oar. These are the toughest set of challenges that we faced as a downtown in probably 100 years. And again, we're competing with cities across the country. So we can take nothing for granted. We need everybody's help, everybody's passion, everybody's energy. We need everybody under the tent. Third, think of what you can do, what you can produce, what you can put on within your own company, your own organization, the attraction you manage during these welcoming weeks in July and September. What can you contribute? Together, we can create and catalyze a delightful experience in the middle of July, in the middle of September, put that stake in the ground around reopening, fill our streets with concerts and food and art and promotions, and welcome folks back. What can you do within your own organization, your business, your attraction, as an individual, your residential building? We'll have more information out to you in the next few weeks via email with more information around the welcoming weeks and also how you can plug in, how you can help. And then finally, come downtown. As I said, 75% of restaurants, retailers, businesses, arts and cultural organizations that existed prior to the pandemic, they're here today, their doors are open, they're rehiring, and they need your business. They need your patronage. They need your dollars. For those that have made it, for those that have scrapped and scraped through these difficult last 15 months, we need to be there for them so that they can continue operating, continue contributing to this great, diverse downtown community. So come downtown, bring your friends and family, share your experience, invite others. We need your feet on the street. The arts and cultural organizations, small businesses need your dollars through their doors. So come downtown. I want to thank you for your continued investment, support, and participation in our work to create a healthy, vibrant downtown. We have a tough road ahead, no doubt, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here with the assets that we have, with the committed members and ratepayers within our own community, with the innovators and creators in Seattle that we can draw upon to renew and reimagine our downtown. I truly believe Seattle's best days are yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I think I speak for the entire board of directors and our membership when I say we're ready to get to work. We are fueled by all of you, people who are passionate about this place, DSA members and ratepayers. I think the work of this organization in trying times like these has produced a little gravitational pull. We are seeing that as we welcome new members to DSA this year. As we always do at this event, we'd like to roll those names now. I'd like to acknowledge the outgoing board members completing their terms on the DSA Board of Directors. Colleen Echohawk, James Hendricks, Guy Hudson, Rico Kirindongo, Beth Takakawa, Todd Timberlake, and Becky Whitmer. Please join me in thanking these leaders for their work on behalf of Downtown and DSA. Now I'd like to introduce our incoming board members who will serve 3-year terms starting July 1st. Mary Baccarella, Pike Place Market, Sally Clark, University of Washington, Michael Greer, Arts Fund, Gina Hall, Uplift Northwest, Kristen Jensen, Gensler, Scott Redman, Selin Construction, Marcus Warren, Downtown Spirits, and Tom Wolf, Hyatt Hotels. We look forward to their participation and perspective in helping guide the work of the Downtown Seattle Association and moving this great downtown forward. And as my term as board chair expires at the end of this month, I want to thank the board, the staff, and the members. While it's certainly been a challenging 2 years, it's also been inspiring to see how this community is rallying to advance recovery. Stay engaged. We can't afford to stay on the sidelines. This process of recovery is going to require all of us. I look forward to a stronger and more inclusive downtown Seattle. Like John has said before, downtown's best days are ahead. Now I'd like to introduce the incoming DSA board chair, Kathy O'Kelly, Senior Vice President at Hines.
Thank you, Marilyn. It really is an honor to work with the dedicated staff and board of the Downtown Seattle Association at such a critical moment in our downtown. We know the road to a real and inclusive recovery is going to be a long one, but I know this is the right group to lead us on that journey. DSA and MED have proven the power of persistence through the years, and we'll draw upon that moving forward. Another hallmark of DSA is driving private-public partnerships to address downtown's most pressing issues. The most pressing issue facing our city, homelessness, requires equally urgent, focused, and persistent response. That's one of the reasons why the DSA helped develop Compassion Seattle Charter Amendment 29 to bring to voters, to compel a thoughtful, outcomes-focused, and accountable plan to address homelessness in Seattle. There are just a couple weeks left to gather enough signatures to get the amendment on the ballot in November. So if you haven't yet signed, please do so. This crisis calls for action and a plan. Charter Amendment 29 provides both. At the outset of the pandemic, we also had a brief glimpse of how downtown can deteriorate without the work of the MID ambassadors as we reduced our operations to keep our teams safe. The pandemic and its impacts in downtown meant the already difficult job of the ambassadors became even harder. And this is simply not a job that could be accomplished from the safety and comfort from home. The clean, safe outreach and parks teams are back and are taking care of this great place. As you saw in the video just a few minutes ago, they're making sure that workers, visitors, and residents return to the heart of the city that is cleaner, safer, and more welcoming for all. Their work really is foundational for downtown's recovery. I had the privilege of serving on the MID Ratepayer Advisory Board for years and as the board chair from 2011 to 2013. I can't imagine downtown without the MID, especially as we tackle recovery. We last renewed the MID in 2013 for 10 years, and our 2023 renewal efforts will begin shortly. We'll be reaching out to our DSA community in the coming months as we develop our renewal vision and strategy. The MID team is near and dear to my heart. We know they make our downtown cleaner, safer, and more welcoming, and we also know that we need them now more than ever. Downtown's fundamentals remain strong, and if you're joining us today, then like me, you believe in the potential of this place. I look forward to working with all of you to see that we reach that potential, that we truly create a vibrant and welcoming downtown for everyone. We have a tremendous opportunity ahead of us. Let's run with it and let's advance recovery. Keep an eye on your inbox for the details about an event coming up next month where we can celebrate recovery and reopening in person. With that said, I hereby adjourn the 2021 DSA MID annual meeting. Thank you for joining us.